Welcome to Timeout with Coach Mike Miller. Coach Miller is the basketball coach with the most wins in LACC history, coaching his teams to a national record of 14 straight conference championships, breaking UCLA's old record of 13. Coach Miller is the first basketball coach in California basketball history to win a state championship at both the high school and college levels. Coach Miller has been honored as Coach of the Year 18 times and has produced almost 100 Division I players. For the next 2 hours, get ready for stats, facts, rants, and your opportunity to chat with one of the most successful basketball coaches in the entire country and his friends. Timeout with Coach Mike Miller.
Hey, welcome to Timeout with Coach Miller. We're excited to be on the air again tonight, Scott.
Yep, Friday night.
It's a Friday night, and usually Friday nights are our best shows.
Yep, and that's when it's most exciting and Skidrow adjacent.
Skidrow adjacent. Boy, oh boy, that's where we are. We're not really, although we're at Skidrow Studios, and we're proud to be part of the Skidrow Studios family.
Love Skidrow Studios, skidrowstudios.com.
That's right, but we're not really on Skid Row, are we, Scott?
Nope, we're adjacent. We're right by where all the USC kids are getting drunk, bar hopping down by $7,000.
Wow. Well, here we are. We are live at Skidrow Studios, and usually, Scott, I kick it off with introducing the people on our team tonight, and we've got tonight in the sound booth again, the valiant Andy Jackson.
Hello.
Hello, Andy, and let's give Andy a little bit of applause here.
Sporting the hair down today, looking very rock and roll.
Yeah, Andy, you deserve a little applause. I think that it's exciting to have Andy here. Usually we have his better half here running our sound booth. I believe Jenny is still in Guatemala, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, indeed.
Okay, well, I guess you're home alone then, huh?
Is that why you're growing the beard?
I guess so.
You guess so? You're not sure?
I actually shaved it recently, so.
Okay. Well, it's
must be the long hair. It's making everything look different.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
it's Friday night.
It's Friday night. Well, Friday night, to my left over here is the eminent premier guest co-host Scott Schultz. And he definitely deserves a round of applause.
Oh, thank you very much.
Scott, tell us, you've been busy lately. Any new gigs you've been doing? By the way, before you go, Scott is a professional storyteller.
Yep, I do storytelling all over L.A. I'm taking the rest of 2013 off just to work on my writing, putting together a book on the long ride of my 7 cross-country Greyhound trips, and putting some new stories together for 2014. I don't like to repeat.
Nice. Well, for those members of our listening audience that don't know, Scott has a fantastic blog. It's called The Long Ride.
Actually, it's called Long Ride.
Oh, but it's 4 O's.
4 O's.
Okay, it's Long Ride with 4 O's.
Long Ride, which reminds me when I was at the 7-Eleven on the corner getting my my Shack soda. Shack, the unpaid sponsor of Timeout with Coach Miller.
That's right.
Because that's the soda that I drank every show. I happened to see a guy walk in sweats with dirty fingernails, and he's plunking down $257. Actually, he plunked down about $317 for a $257 Greyhound ticket to Orlando. So I asked him, "Hey, what's up with the ticket? Where's it going? That sounds expensive." He goes, "I'm sending a sales guy who didn't cut it on the team to Orlando." And I was thinking, man, that's cold. You don't hit quota, you go back to Orlando.
On a Greyhound bus.
Yeah, and I could see that happening with basketball players when they don't cut it.
Yeah, it has happened, I'm sure, with basketball players.
Yeah, minor league baseball players and things like that. But a salesman.
No question.
That's a hell gig.
That's a junior college move, the Greyhound bus ticket home. That's a junior college move, Scott. I like that move, but it's definitely out of the junior college playbook.
And I've seen players, on my bus rides, in their sweats, where I knew that they were ball players either coming or going.
There you go. Well, hey, nowadays a plane ticket is about the same price as a Greyhound ticket, depending on how far you're going.
Yes, but a Greyhound gives the players more time to think about what they did wrong that put them on a Greyhound.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
They still have to learn. They're in college.
Yeah, good point. Well, we all have to learn all the time. But, hey, Scott, it's exciting to have a couple of great guests tonight. We've got a call-in guest who will be calling in shortly. That is Patrick Springer, who is the head basketball coach at Mount San Jacinto College up in Hemet.
Yep, but they knocked off undefeated Irvine, last undefeated team. So
they knocked off Irvine Valley College, the last undefeated team in the state. They knocked them off last night, and what a great win that was for Mount San Jacinto.
Huge win.
The Eagles.
Yeah.
Great program, a lot of tradition, a lot of history. And we're going to talk to Coach Springer here in a few minutes. He'll be on the air as a special call-in guest tonight.
Which is great, considering that they have a finals, match in the tournament down at Saddleback tomorrow.
That's right. They're playing tomorrow in the championship game of the Bill Brummel Classic, hosted by Saddleback College. And Bill Brummel was a good friend and a really good coach. I enjoyed coaching against him for several years. And, we had some real battles with Saddleback, as you remember, when I was at LA City College. We were two of the best programs in the state. And it's great for Coach Springer and the San Jacinto Eagles to be playing in the finals tomorrow. And we're going to find out who they're playing against. I would assume it's Saddleback, but we'll see. When we get Coach Springer on the line, we'll find out. And we've got in studio tonight, we've got Diego Prep, which is out of San Diego. We've got a couple of their coaches, Coach Harris and Coach Holloman, tonight in the green room waiting to come on. And so it's exciting to have them. They're in town playing in a prep school showcase that started today and that ends Sunday afternoon, which is down at Cathedral High School in downtown L.A.
Okay, that's not the cathedral that you were at as a coach, is it?
It is the same cathedral.
Wow.
That was a young Coach Miller. It seems like several lifetimes ago. They hired me. I was 21 years old.
Said you walked the halls looking for your signatures and stuff like that, maybe a trophy?
No, there are no halls at Cathedral. They're all kind of bungalows there. You walk outside. Of Southern California. But then the gym was torn down that I coached in. There's a new gym, a beautiful state-of-the-art gym.
You didn't carve into the palm trees or anything?
No, I was never much of a graffiti guy or a carver.
Yeah,
that was not my thing. But anyway, so we've got a couple of good guests, like I said, tonight, and that'll be exciting. And it'll be good to talk to these guys and catch up to them and find out what's going on. So what we want to do, Andy, is take a really quick commercial break. And when we come back, we'll have...
Why don't we give the number also if anybody wants to call in?
That's a great point, Scott. I'm glad that you're here because I sure forget. Go ahead.
Well, that's why I drink the Shack soda, that extra sugar. It keeps me alert.
Oh, boy.
So if you have any questions for the coaches from Diego Hills or for San Jacinto or for Coach Miller and I, you can call in at 1-800-893-9562. And also you can download Time Out with Coach Miller on iTunes by... typing in Time Out with Coach Miller. You can subscribe for free. You can catch today's episode if you fall asleep. You can catch the rest of it, at the comfort of your schedule, or you can pull up previous episodes because we've had some real awesome shows over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, you know what, Andy? We're going to curtail the plans to go to a commercial break right now because it looks like Coach Springer is ready to go on the air. And, I'll get in trouble, Scott, from the boss upstairs, Jeremy. But you know what? Hey, we'll pay the bills later. How does that sound?
That sounds fair.
Okay.
I'll say power moves, Shack Soda.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Okay, well, Shack Soda, thank God we've got Shack as a sponsor. It's nice to have the Shack Soda as an unofficial sponsor.
And he doesn't even know.
Time Out with Coach Miller. You know, do you remember when I coached Shaq's brother at LACC?
Jamal, yeah. I contact him on Facebook all the time.
Jamal Harrison. And do you remember that time that the truck pulled up outside the gym with 500 pairs of the Shaq shoes in it, Scott?
Yeah, I had those for like 3 years. Those were really solid shoes.
My whole office was floor-to-ceiling Shaq shoes.
Yeah.
That's when they came out. Boy, those shoes were really ugly.
You could tell those shoes were made by a center, though, because those things were really, really like firm, like in the ankles and stuff.
Yeah.
Like you don't roll an ankle in those shoes.
Yeah, they were really ugly shoes, though.
Yeah, they were.
They were.
I like the soda better.
You like the soda better? Okay, I'm feeling that. Okay, we've got Coach Springer on the air. Coach Springer, are you there?
I'm doing great, Mike. How are you?
We're doing great tonight. We have a awesome show lined up. We're excited to have you on as our first guest. And hey, you're probably excited that you and the San Jacinto team that you coach beat the last undefeated team in the state last night.
Yeah, I am. I'm not nearly as excited about that as I am getting off the 91, though. That thing, this community college driving all around is quite an adventure. But yeah, we were fortunate last night and played well and beat a good Irvine team 58-41 in the first round of the Bill Brummel Classic down at Saddleback College.
You know, you weren't fortunate if you beat them 58-41. That's a blowout. That's a 17-point blowout. You hold the team to 41 points. What tremendous defense. That's a kind of a Coach Miller score, isn't it, Patrick? That's how I like to play.
Yeah, that wasn't by design, the 58. We didn't shoot the ball real well, but we've been holding our opponents under 36% on the season. That's over 11 games. So I do feel good about our field goal percentage defense. I wish we could score a few more points. As you know, follow John Chambers out here in the Inland Empire, and our fans like to see more than 58 points on the board for sure.
Yeah, it's a great program, and I'm glad you brought up Coach Chambers' name. John Chambers coached his last game against me. How'd
that turn out for him, Mike?
That didn't turn out real good for Coach Chambers that night. That wasn't a good night for Coach. It was we had a pretty good team. We won the state title that year, and we beat them by about 30 points. And it was, I kind of felt bad for Coach because he, as you know, he was a good friend of mine and yours, and great guy, great coach, old school.
Well, let me interrupt you for a second because I think that's the best community college team I've seen in California since '96. I can't speak before that, but that team was unbelievable. Well,
thank you. I've had, DR from DR's reports, Dave. He's written that actually. If you go on his website, and he probably does the best job covering California community college basketball and teams. He's said that in writing. It's the best team he's ever seen. Now, again, I don't know how many years he goes back, but we were awfully good. We were 36-2 on the floor and 38-0 when it was done because Ventura ended up forfeiting all their games for about 5 or 6 years, if you recall.
Imagine that.
Yeah. So, and our only 2 losses were to Ventura that year. So, hey, our guys were all, the proper age and never had played more than 2 years of community college basketball. So, hey. What can I say? But 38-0 when it was all said and done, but 36-2 on the court. And, it was a great team. And we had, a great season. And Coach Chambers, getting back to him, it was the last game he coached, and then you took over for him. So my point was there's only been 2 coaches in the history of the San Jacinto program, Coach Chambers and yourself.
Actually, there's been 4, but you're real close. A guy named Dan Ayala, who's a mentor to John and a friend of mine, coached for 3 years before he went up to Pasadena City College, and then he ended up with Jerry Tarkanian at UNLV and became then eventually the women's coach at UNLV, and then a guy named Jack Guyman coached 1 year while John was on a sabbatical. So there's been 4 coaches in the 51 years of this school, so it's quite a privilege to be at the helm of the the Mount San Jacinto College Eagles.
Yeah, I love the Eagles, and great gym, great facility, great community. I mean, tremendous opportunity for you. I mean, obviously, you're loving it. You haven't left. You've been there, what now, Coach, about 8-9 years now?
No, this is my 11th year.
Your 11th year. Wow, time sure flies. Sure flies.
It's been a soft landing spot after some time at the Division I level and San Jose State, and then I spent a year at City College of San Francisco as the head coach, and that was a wonderful experience, but I got a chance to go into administration down here. You'll appreciate this, Mike. I figured out real early in my teaching career that I wasn't good with beginners, teaching them anything. And so when I got a chance to go into administration, I thought that was a little bit better fit. I was still able to coach, so it's been a wonderful experience here.
Yeah, and Scott, Patrick Springer is not only a really fine coach, he's a great administrator. He's actually the athletic director and the dean there over athletics, and
wow.
And I've seen him work and interacted with him, at that level as a professional, and he just does a great job as an administrator. He's smart, he figures things out, he solves problems, and of course his true love and his passion is coaching. And tell us a little bit about your team this year. I mean, two pretty good wins so far in this Bill Brummel Classic. Are you playing Saddleback tomorrow in the championship game?
Yeah, Saddleback squeaked one out tonight. They beat Miracosta 51-49.
Wow.
To advance to the championship. So we play tomorrow at 4. Saddleback's a very physical team. They've got 3 Division I bounce backs. I think it's going to be a good college basketball environment, and it'll be a good test for us. Kind of give us a point of reference for when we get to the playoffs, what playoff basketball is going to be like. And as you know, Andy Brown does a great job there, and he's kind of like you and I. He doesn't mind grinding it out and concentrating on defending and rebounding. So it might be a very physical game tomorrow, and I hope our guys are up to the challenge.
Well, I'm sure they will be up to the challenge, and Saddleback has always played physical, Scott, even back when, 20 years ago when I started playing against them. Is Bill Brummel on the staff? Is he now an assistant coach for Andy Ground?
No, he's not an assistant coach, but I saw Bill tonight. He was at our game for the first time in probably 5 or 6 years. He's doing great in retirement and staying busy. So you and I have been around long enough, Mike. We've seen a lot of these coaches come and go, and it's sure nice seeing some familiar face from the past. So I told my staff the greatest win in my coaching career was at Saddleback. When you remember when we were at COD, we were just grinding it out, trying to make the playoffs, and we went down there and beat them in the second round of the playoffs. And then the worst loss a couple years ago, we remember the old Final 8. Well, we qualified to go to the Final 8, but it wasn't a Final 8. We had to play at Saddleback. It wasn't at a neutral site. And they beat us on a 3 at the buzzer to eliminate us, and they advanced to the Final 4. So I got a love-hate relationship with that gym.
Yeah, I know you do, Coach. The first time I coached in the Saddleback gym was, let me see here, the 89-90 season when I was a high school coach. My first year at Rebay Academy, we actually played the CIF championship game against an Orange County school called Santa Margarita. And we played them at Saddleback College, and we beat them. And that was my first time ever being in that gym. So I have a lot of fond memories of the Saddleback gym. It was my first CIF championship, my first significant championship as a coach. I was probably about, 24 years old, and I was young and, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, so to speak.
Always remember your first win.
Yeah,
first championship.
And that's a neat thing about what Coach Springer and the San Jacinto Eagles have done yesterday. Coach, I remember there were so many great teams that I was involved with at LACC. It was always special, to start the year And, to run a string together and be, I've had teams that were 15-0, 13-0, 17-0, different levels, okay? And when you were on that side of the coin, I remember it was the 01-02 season. We started out the year about 17-18-0, and I remember the first game we lost was to John Cosentino and Southwestern down in the Cuyamaca tournament, and they beat us right at the buzzer. And we had those San Diego officials, Coach Springer. I don't have to tell you.
Oh, I love those guys.
Yeah, I don't have to tell you how that goes when you're not from San Diego. But, not true, by the way, in prep school or high school, just in junior college. I mean, it's a big difference, yeah. So I remember distinctly every year who beat us to break our undefeated streak. I remember that so distinctly every year. And so I think it's kind of really a neat thing. The shoes on the other foot. Coach Springer and the San Jacinto Eagles they're the ones who ended the Irvine Valley undefeated, string to the last team in the state undefeated. So,
it was kind of a perfect storm. They were 12-0, and we had taken 2 bitter losses in that Riverside tournament. I know you and I talked after the one to East LA, and then we followed up by stepping on our toe the next day. So it was kind of a perfect storm. But competition, is a real interesting thing. We had played some great teams prior, and to be honest, Irvine's schedule wasn't nearly as tough as ours, and I think that's one of the reasons why we were a little bit better prepared last night.
Okay, well, that makes sense. And Irvine Valley, though, they must be pretty good. I mean, they were undefeated until last night. I mean, so they must be pretty good.
Very, very big, very physical. They shoot it well. Scouting really was a huge factor. And, we saw them live, and we had 2 films on them, and we were able to take away a couple things we thought would really be key. And as you know, when you get ahead, some teams are able to play from behind. I mean, I know when you played John's teams and when I played John Chambers' teams, whether you were up 20 or down 20, you never felt comfortable. Irvine, those Orange County teams, you get a little lead, and it's a little bit tougher for them to play from behind because they don't play nearly as fast.
Yeah, that's a great point. And it's something you alluded to earlier, that the San Jacinto fans, and they have great fans up in San Jacinto. Coach Springer, I know, really appreciates the fans that they have in Hemet and the fans of the program and his team. And what a tremendous fan base. One of the best 4 or 5 fan bases in the state for the junior college level, in my opinion. And
no question.
I think your fans, you alluded to, are expecting more points than 58. They were spoiled by Coach Chambers and those 100-point games that he put up all the time, and 90-point games. Yeah. But you know what?
He had a team that averaged 109 points a game with no 3-point line.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Chambers let those guys get up and down the floor now. But the one thing I'll say is the fans still like a 17-point win. They still like that, Coach, even if you score 58. Your fans still like and appreciate a 17-point win over, I guess Irvine Valley was ranked number 1, weren't they? Undefeated?
Yeah, they were ranked number 1, and that's very apropos. I mean, this is a job where people expect you to win, and when you don't win, they're still friendly and cordial, but they want to know why. Right. And that was really important for not so much me, because I've been here 11 years, but for our players to be able to, they'll be able to hold their head up high around our community. We're a little sleepy cow town out here, and when they run across people at the market or wherever they're going, I think that's going to mean a lot to their development that they bounced back and got that win.
So if anybody out there has any questions for either coaches, you can call in at 800-893-9562.
And we're proud that our show is available on iTunes now. It's kind of big time, Scott, that iTunes picked this up. How do they find our show on iTunes?
Well, you go to iTunes, type in Time Out with Coach Miller. You can subscribe to that. It's totally free. And that way you can catch up on all the shows if you, like, I'm sure your players are probably getting rested for the finals. So they can click it on iTunes and they can go to sleep, subscribe. They can pick up the show in the morning and they can listen to it after the game.
Yeah, that's right. So, we don't want to keep Coach Springer up too late tonight because they have an important game tomorrow, the finals against Saddleback College in the Bill Brummel Classic. That is at 4 p.m. at the Saddleback College campus. Now, Coach, before we let you go, just briefly tell us a little bit about your team and your players this year. If fans want to come out and see you play tomorrow, what should they be looking to see in terms of your personnel? Tell the fans, our listeners, a little bit about your personnel and your players.
Well, we've got an elite player. They're going to see him. They come out tomorrow, they'll see him get double and sometimes triple teamed. That's what people seem to be doing to Dwayne Benjamin. He's a early signee at the University of Oregon, and he's doing a tremendous job, not just scoring. He's averaging about 22 points a game, but he's been a tremendous playmaker as he's getting double-teamed, and he's surrounded by a couple sophomores that helped us advance to the Southern California Regional Final last year, and DeJuan Smith was averaging 12 points a game. He's out of Abbeville, Louisiana, as well as Mark Ware, who's a returning sophomore, and Carlos McCormick, kid out of Bowman Academy in Gary, Indiana, who's kind of been our defensive leader at the point guard spot, who's really exploded this weekend with his scoring. Tonight, he had 13 points and was 2 of 2 from the three-point line, so that's been a nice added benefit to get out of your best defensive player. And then we're surrounded by a bunch of freshmen, Mike. As you know, we're still trying to figure it out. Kid out of Reno, Nevada, Sam Williams, had a big night tonight. He had 12 points and 6 rebounds. So
I really like Sam Williams, Coach. I really like his upside, his versatility, long arms, plays bigger than he is. I really like Sam. What do you think of him?
He's just a kid. I mean, he's 18 years old. His upside is tremendous. It's just that understanding of college basketball, especially community college basketball. It's just such a fine line between being prepared and not being prepared. And if we can get him prepared, get him on edge is the term I use. When he's on edge, he's one of the better freshmen that I've seen. But, high school kids don't always understand that concept of being on edge. And tonight he was, and hopefully he can follow that up back to back. But, Mike, he's so versatile. I mean, he made a 3 tonight. He can beat you off the bounce. He can post up. He's a physical kid. He's athletic. I think if he gets the mental aspect of college basketball, I think he's going to be a tremendous prospect.
Wow. Well, I think it's exciting, the kind of team that you're putting together this year. So you mentioned a few guys. Is there anyone on your team that, let's just say, maybe is not known as a big-time guy right now, but he can have a night where he really, steps up and he really can deliver? I mean, is there a guy that is not maybe one of the main guys, though, that has given you one or two great games already this year and has the capability of doing more?
Yeah, we've got a kid out of Gateway High School in St. Louis, Missouri, named Patrick Bowens, who redshirted last year at Mount Sac. We just inserted him into the starting lineup for this tournament, and he's a freshman, but he's a little bit older. I'm really expecting him, as we get into league play, to be a dynamic player. He's kind of a undersized, 4-man that can beat you off the bounce and be a trail post and, catch and shoot. And he's very physical for being 6'4", but he's a strong athlete. And those are the guys that do well in community college. Those guys that have the physicalness and the athleticism to make plays.
Yeah, kind of the tweener types. I remember the guy you had a couple years ago out of Indiana, Jerry Crawford, who ended up going to East LA College last year, and he sounds like similar to Jerry, kind of a physical,
Yeah.
6'4", kind of post guy, right? Little undersized in the post, but plays hard.
Yeah, and both those guys got a little edge to them, and those are the guys. Community college, I always tell everybody it's like arena football is to pro football. It's a little bit different, and those guys do really well at this level because of their aggressiveness.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point. And so I'm hoping your team is going to be aggressive tomorrow, Coach Springer, and that you guys will go out and compete really hard and play Saddleback tough in their own gym and come away with a first place trophy. I'm thinking that can happen. I know you got to play right to make that happen, but I have a lot of confidence that you're going to do that.
Well, that means a lot to me because I really respect everything you've accomplished as a coach, and I consider it a privilege to be on your show. Good luck with your team this year, and we'll stay in touch.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate the call in, and we'll talk with you soon. Good luck tomorrow.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. Hey, great to have Coach Springer on the show tonight, Scott. Exciting to hear about their big win over undefeated and ranked number 1 Irvine Valley College.
Yeah, it's great of him to call in also because he's probably now jumping right back into film, trying to break down Saddleback.
Either that or into bed. He sounded pretty hoarse right there.
Yeah, he sounded a couple days into a tournament.
Yeah, no question. What I want to do is I want to take a really short commercial break, and we come back. We bring in Coach Harris, Coach Holloman from Diego Hills Prep. They're in the green room. I'm excited to have them here live in studio. They're going to be on next. Andy, let's take a short commercial break, and we'll be right back. About Medicus Graphics Center located in Los Angeles, California. Medicus is the official printer and graphic designer of Time Out with Coach Miller. Medicus does a tremendous job for any printing need from big to small. Whether you want to print a book or a 4-color poster or business cards, go see my friends at Medicus Graphics Center in Los Angeles, California, located at 2030 Hyperion Avenue. Tell them Coach Miller sent you. Medicus will take care of you like they've taken care of me.
16 made a dream with this basketball. Coach Miller on the court and we going hard. Pass the rock to the paint. I give it my all or be like Chris Paul. Shoot the 3-point, y'all. Look, it's Time Out with Coach Miller. 14 straight conference championships. We winners. It don't stop from the bottom to the ceiling. Cause all I know is win and we winning. Full focus, we got a topic to discuss. High school, prep school, small colleges, yup. Another special guest today, listen up. It might get a little hectic from the stuff we discuss.
Hey, it's Coach Miller. You're listening to my show, Time Out with Coach Miller. I want to talk to you today about my favorite car dealership located in beautiful Hollywood, California. It's called Gem Motors. Gem Motors is located at 5639 West Sunset Boulevard. If you want a high-end automobile that's at a great price, whether it's a BMW, a Mercedes, a Jaguar, or a Porsche, go to my friends at Gem Motors. They have a beautiful indoor dealership located at 5639 West Sunset Boulevard, right across from Home Depot. Go see my friends at Gem Motors. Tell them Coach Miller sent you and get a special discount. The phone number is area code 323-962-9696. 323-962-9696.
Look, it's Time Out with Coach Miller. 14 straight conference championships. We winners. It don't stop from the bottom to the ceiling. Cause all I know is win and we winning. Full focus, we got a topic to discuss. High school, prep school, small colleges, yup. Another special guest today, listen up. It might get a little hectic from the stuff we discuss.
Right there. That's off the Top Gun ball side.
I think. Oh,
Hey, we're back. We're live. We're on the air. Welcome back to Time Out with Coach Miller. That was Coach Harris in the background. You guys heard.
Diego Hills.
Diego Hills Prep. I'm just going to say that Coach Harris is excited to be in the studio tonight. Let's give Coach Harris and Coach Holloman a big welcome. A big welcome to Time Out with Coach Miller. All right. All right. Hey, they're getting a lot of applause, Scott. I mean, they're popular. Our ratings are up already.
that's what I'm talking about.
We're going to have to run down to 7-Eleven and get some more Shack Soda.
Shack Soda. Shack Soda's in the house and unofficial sponsor of the Time Out with Coach Miller show. Technology is failing me again. And I'll tell you what.
Whenever the screen goes black, just touch it. It's just like a cell phone.
Touch it. Okay. Jeez.
You're dating yourself.
I sure am.
How do you find iTunes again?
Yeah, right. I'm a lot older than I look. I wonder if we're going to get any call-ins tonight, Scott. Hey, hold on a second.
Your phone ringing.
Hey.
Your phone ringing.
Your phone ringing. Our phone hasn't rung yet. It's 1-800-893-9562. That number again is 1-800-893.
And how do you use a cell phone?
893-9562. I'm trying to use your tablet, and I can't use that. You said touch it, and it doesn't work.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to take charge of this, and if you ever want to look at it, I'll just kind of go like this.
Okay, nice.
All right, come up a little bit.
Yeah, please do. So it's exciting. We've got Diego Hills Prep in the house. They've got a great program down there in San Diego. They're starting up. This is the first year, right, coaches?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so let's start, Coach Harris. So you're coaching I know that you have more than one team. You have a post-grad team, which is, for our listeners, a year after high school.
Yes.
And you also have a high school team. You have both.
Yes.
Okay, which one are you coaching? Or are you coaching both?
Both.
You're coaching both?
We all coach.
So all the coaches in the program are coaching both teams in the program?
Yes, sir.
Okay, excellent. And Coach Holloman, what about you? You're also coaching both then?
Yes, I am. I'm always involved. I got to be.
Okay, nice. When you're not doing your football?
Right.
Okay. Okay, if you're doing your football, you're not involved. But if you're not doing your football, you're involved.
Right, you got to be.
In other words, Coach Holloman's always involved. Whether it's football, basketball.
Just goes from field to gym to
Hey,
locker
man, I'm
to
a
field.
referee. Got to be.
Okay. Wow. Well, anyway.
Did you over the line, too?
Oh, no, I can't do that. My wife won't let me go over there.
Hey, that's a good one.
Right.
He's quick.
Always blame it on the wife.
He should be a point guard. He's so
Don't
quick.
tell everybody.
Okay, so, hey, we've got a call already, if you can believe that. 313 number. Caller, you're on the air. Where are you calling from?
Hi, I'm calling from Michigan.
Michigan. We have calls, Coach Harris, Coach Holloman, we have calls all over the world and all over the country on our show. It's exciting. This is a worldwide show. We have both video and audio, as Coach Miller likes to say, like Chick Hearn used to say, it's simulcast.
Right.
Okay, who am I speaking to from Michigan?
Oh, this is Tom.
Tom from Michigan. What do you have for us tonight, Tom? Do you have a question for the Diego Hills staff or myself, or what do you have?
Well, actually, I was a former teammate of Scott's, actually, and I wanted to call in and check up and see how he's doing.
What's up, Tom? Tom Tedney?
Yes.
In Pontiac? How you doing, man?
When we were on the
Long time no see.
wrestling team there in
Yeah.
Kohiki Fall.
I think we just lost the call.
But if you'd like to speak to Tom, his number is 313-923-7066. Feel free to call him any time of day.
I think we just lost the call there.
That's too bad. But anyway, what's that? 7086?
Okay, well, we lost the call.
So be sure to call him any time of day. He loves calls.
Okay.
And he loves boys. So,
Okay, Scott. Let's keep it a family show now.
Yeah.
Let's keep
Point
it
guard, huh?
and let's keep it a family show now. We don't want to have any problems like, something that could go wrong here. So anyway, we lost our caller. That happens sometimes, and we're back on the air. Our phone number is 1-800-893-9562. If you have a question for the Diego Hills staff, please call in. Let's when we have guests on the air, we'd like our listeners to call in to talk to the guests, not to Scott or necessarily myself. When we don't have guests on the air, we take calls from our fans and our listeners. But right now, if you're going to call in, let's direct our questions and our calls and our comments to the Diego Hills staff. So let's get back to the Diego Hills program. That's what we're here to talk about. So, Coach Harris, tell us, how did this program start? What was the impetus of starting this program?
Well, the head coach actually is Jake Metcalf, who's the brilliant mind behind this prep school.
Okay.
Diego Hills actually exists as a charter school and in San Diego. And he actually was a high school coach in San Diego at Crawford High School.
Okay.
Did great jobs over there, changed the program. So they, decided to do something different. A little bit of what our program is not so much about getting those elite players from outside of San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
It's more about getting kids in San Diego. So our whole team is basically made up of San Diego kids in the area. And the concept is really trying to save them and help them move on to the next level, no matter if it's just JC, D3, D2, but become better young men when the game of basketball ends.
Nice. Well, I know that on the back of your jerseys it says character counts, and that's a real telling statement. Coach Holloman, what does that mean to you?
It means a lot, being your character out there with the community, with people out there in society. You always want to represent yourself, represent your community, represent your school and stuff like that. So you got to be always 100% to reach out and help others.
Nice. So Jake Metcalf started the program. It was his brainchild. It's connected to a prep or a charter school, Coach Harris said. So do all of the students go to this charter school then, Coach Harris? Is that how that works?
All the kids that are in high school that does not have a diploma yet. The post-grads, those guys are taking 6 units at the community colleges in their neighborhoods.
Oh, okay. All right, nice. That's a really good idea. So you've got the two teams, and how's the season been going so far, either one of you?
I think it's been great. Okay. Being a referee and being able to coach and see the progress and see the kids work hard. It's been a great privilege for me, just to hang out with them, because I'm always reffing. So I get a different perspective now, as in coaching and stuff like that. So it's been great.
Nice. I saw you guys brought in some really good players, when I was going through the roster there.
Uh-huh.
Like you had the point guard that was at SDSU.
Oh, yeah.
And what happened with that? He went in and then decided, I better take a year of prep and go back.
Coach, you want to answer that?
It was a situation that choice that he made with his family. SDSU is a great program, and and Coach Fisher's done a great job over at SDSU. So his decision was with him and his mom and his family to not go as a walk-on. He's gotten a lot better.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He's understanding the game a little bit better. It's kind of tough to go from high school because he was the lead scorer in San Diego County. Last year, he was averaging like 32 points a game in San Diego at Mount McGill High School. So to try to make that transition to the prep school where kids are young men, I should say, or better than you, he's finally getting it right now.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's good. Good info. Now, you're playing up here. I mentioned earlier that you're up here and you're in a tournament. Not a tournament, a showcase that started today, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday down at Cathedral High School in downtown LA. Cathedral High School is located at 1253 Bishops Road, Los Angeles, California. It was my first head coaching job.
Oh, wow.
I was 21 years old. I was the youngest head varsity coach in the state of California. I remember the address. I worked there for 2 years.
Right.
1253 Bishops Road.
Right.
What time do you play tomorrow, Coach?
We play at 12 o'clock. I think we play at 12 and at 2 o'clock.
Okay,
so I think the high school plays at 12 and then the post-grad plays at 2.
Gotcha. So both teams are playing. And both teams played today.
Yes.
The post-grad team, who did you play today in the post-grad team, Coach Harris?
I think it was a team from Arizona, the Arizona All-Stars.
Okay. How was that?
We won by 30.
Okay, wow. Okay. Well, that's a blowout then, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. That makes you feel good, right? I mean,
Yes.
It makes me feel real good, but still got work to do, but it was good. It was great, though. You know what I'm saying? It's good to see the young men enjoy themselves with their teammates, giving each other hugs and, you know what I mean, and just being real positive. You know, that's the bottom line. Being through a stretch throughout the season where we have some tough losses and not really getting better and stuff like that, it really got to see something different today. So
okay, so the Arizona team, were they just overmatched against you? Or, I mean, you guys just had too much talent for them? Or did you guys play exceptionally well tonight?
I think we definitely played defense.
Okay.
That's been our motto. You know, I'm a defensive-minded guy. Our motto is defense wins championships, offense sells tickets, and everybody in the country can score. So, you know, we try to keep the ball out the middle. A lot of, you know, we're not big, so we do a lot of traps and jumps. We did that pretty well today. And they starting to figure out that, you know, if you sit down and play defense and work hard on the defensive end for 35 seconds of possession, good things will happen. Arizona, and they was big. But our guards, our kids played well. They actually got out and played and shared the ball and play a little bit more fundamentals that we've been trying to work on.
Okay. Well, I really like, Scott, how Coach Jake Metcalf and the staff, Coach Harris, Coach Holloman, and the rest of the staff have the guys playing. I saw them play early in the year. We've played my team has played against their team a couple of times. And I really like how they play. I really like how they're coaching their players. They are trying to do a lot of the right things defensively, as Coach Harris just indicated. And we played. My team played your high school team today, early game, and so. Really a good job again. You guys really, played hard and sharing the ball on offense and trying to trap and double and get low, get in a defensive stance. That's really important stuff. And they did a good job doing that. We were lucky that we prevailed today against their high school team. And I think that I see a lot of potential in their high school team because they'll all be back next year and be awfully good team next year. I mean, they're a good team now. But they'll be even better next year with everybody back. And the post-grad team, probably has more talent, I mean, from what I remember, than the high school team. But the high school team seems to play maybe sometimes a little bit better together. Is that fair, or am I?
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. Yeah. So it's probably the high school team, Scott, maybe a little more of a result than the prep school post-grad team. Maybe not as good a players, but more of a result, more of a team.
Right. You got to understand that they're younger and they want to be able to help each other out. With the post-grad, they mostly want to do their own thing, their own game and stuff like that. And some of them already played, graduated and stuff like that. So they want to kind of show out that younger kids, they want to learn fundamentals, being a good teammate. Those type of things, those character things that we have.
Yeah. Well, plus, when they're younger, they're going to be grouped together for a longer time.
Right.
And they might have played together for a couple of years, leading in where, when you get to the post-grad, you tend to get like the best from all around. And, they're trying to showcase themselves almost as much as winning as a team so they can get that, D1 scholarship. And I see you guys have some D1 talent on there.
Yeah, they do. And what I want to do, Scott, is I want to talk a little bit about the players in particular and that talent, and let the coaches talk about them. I want to do that as soon as we get back from break. Let's take a short commercial break, Andy, and pay a few bills. And when we get back, we're going to have Coach Harris and Coach Holloman here in studio for some more activities, talking about the personnel and the players at Diego Hills Prep. Let's go to break. We'll be right back. Hey, this is Coach Miller. I'm excited to tell you about my new instructional videos that are on DVDs, produced and distributed by Scoreboard Media out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Scoreboard Media is a great outfit. They also publish books on recruiting and basketball. But what I want to tell you about is to make sure you get a chance to see my post-play DVDs. If you want to become a better post player, score more in the post, and be more effective for your team, why not check out my DVDs? These great instructional videos will really help improve your game. Scoreboard Media is the place to get them at.
Welcome to the 500 Club. We the best, my whole team tough. Close to 100 Division Ones I built up. Dedication and hard work. Step up to the court, I'm like, who ready to lose first? 14 times champs every year earned. Feet to the court, let me get in my zone. Hands grip to the ball, let me get in control. Non-stop, can't quit, that's a winner's quote. I'ma just keep doing me, hear the crowd as they cheer. 18 out of 19, coach of the year. Time out with Coach Miller, listen clear. 2 times a week, listen to me on the ear. Over 30 wins, it was for 4 straight years. First to win state my high school and college career. Over 30 wins, it was for 4 straight years. First to win state my high school and college career.
Win 500 games, you get your own song.
Right.
That's a good song, man.
Hey, we're back. It's Time Out with Coach Miller. That was our Time Out with Coach Miller theme song or theme rap.
Yep. Still doesn't have a title.
Still doesn't have a title, but it is available on iTunes along with the rest of our shows.
Yep, and you can do that. You can find those by going into iTunes and typing in Time Out with Coach Miller. Subscribe. It's totally free, and you can catch up on all the episodes. We've had, like 12, 15, 20 by now?
Yeah, probably quite a few. It's been this is the 3rd month of our show, and we're excited. It's we're doing well. We get good ratings.
Yep, number 1 show on Skidrow Studios.
And there's about 25 shows on the station, so we're kind of cool. We're kind of cool about that.
Even had some groupies waiting for us on the side on the Skidrow adjacent sidewalk.
We have a stalker.
We have a couple stalkers.
We have more than one. That's how you know we've made it.
Right.
We had one of them stalkers call in tonight.
Wow.
And
but we have his phone number, and I passed it to my Facebook friends.
Right.
Nice.
900 friends.
Well, and what was his name? Tom tonight? It's usually Bob or Bill.
And if you want to call him, his number is 313-923-7086.
That's Tom.
Tom, Roger, whatever. We got Google search. It's real easy to find this stuff now.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, it's easy to find Diego Hills Prep because they're the premier post-grad program in San Diego, and they have also a very fine high school team.
Yep. I used to live in San Diego for several years when I first landed in California. I love that city.
Was that when you were a comedian still?
That's where I started as a comedian. I started at the Comedy Store on Pearl Street in La Jolla.
Yeah, I know where you at.
And I love San Diego. It was
Like
one
Bishop High School.
Yes.
Yeah, great high school.
And
Great high school.
yeah, it's there's one of the comedians that I started with. He actually went to high school with the football player Rashaan Salam.
Oh, La Jolla Country Day.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
Nice.
they were, I think he was like 16 at the time, the comedian, wow. And so he's maybe 1 or 2 years behind Salam, and he would actually have to wait outside on the sidewalk, and then he would get to go in, do his like 3 to 5 minutes, and then he'd have to go back outside on the sidewalk because he was too young to go into the bar. And he ended up becoming a big writer for Conan O'Brien, and he's done really well. Yeah.
That's all right.
That's really nice. You know, Scott is now no longer a comedian, but he's a professional storyteller. And yeah. So anyway,
with a stalker.
With a stalker.
Yeah,
from Michigan. Huh?
Yeah, those are the crazy ones, though. Probably from like 3 miles.
Right.
Okay.
Come on down. Huh?
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Well, hey, let's talk a little bit about some of the personnel at Diego Hills Prep, and they've got some good personnel, and we've played against them, Scott. So I've seen these guys play a little bit. Let me ask either one of you coaches, Martell Collins, is he still in the program?
Yeah, he's still in the program. He's just not playing at this particular time.
Okay, but he was a really gifted athlete and is really a talent. 6'6", right?
Yeah, 6'7".
6'7". But he's in the program and he'll be back on the court.
He'll be back in January.
In January, okay, good.
Coach Metcalf got policies and rules, and the biggest policy is that he's trying to make them young men. Mm-hmm. So sometimes they don't want to be young men or follow the policy. He has to put his foot down, and he didn't want to lose him as a player, but at the end of the day, it's more about him becoming a young man than just playing the game of basketball up and down the court, because realistically, basketball is 1% of what you're doing in your life. So we hoping that the decision that he made not, to do what he did, to be, suspended until January, will wake him up, and he'll come back stronger and hungry and be part of our team. But he's still part of Dago Hills. Okay.
Well, you know what? Let's all wish the best for Martell, because he has a lot of ability, a lot of talent, and sometimes a little disciplinary action can help you get turned around. Let's talk about Romario Wilson. Romario Wilson.
I mean, he's athletic. He's come a long way since he first stepped into the program. His work ethic is getting a lot better. He's athletic, can play above the rim, attacks the basket off the dribble. Definitely got to work on that mid-range and three. But like I said, he's tough. He's getting tough. He's finally buying into Coach Jake's system of what he wanted him to do. And when like I said, he's going to be good if he keeps working hard. He's going to be very good. Okay. Let's talk about Izzy Wagner.
Well, go ahead.
That's Izzy Wagner's a young man that was at SDSU.
Yeah.
And like I said before, he's very talented. He was the leading scorer in San Diego County at high school at Mount McGill. They very well played for Coach Jay. With us, like I said, he's getting better, and he's binding to the system of being a point guard instead of a scoring guard. Because at the next level, he's going to have to be able to run a team, and that's what Coach Jake is trying to get him to understand, not just on the court, but off the court. Yeah. Be a role model, be a team member, be that leader that your teammates can look up to. And like I said, when he gets that down, he will be one of the best that played at Dago Hills, and he was one of the best to play at San Diego last year. Like I said, it's the defensive side of the ball. He has to get more hungry on, and he's doing that. And I think with that, what he does off the court and keeping his mind right, he'll play Division I basketball somewhere. Okay, that's Scott. They have some really good players. Good looking athletes, good looking team, and as I said earlier, really well coached. And I really think that they're on their way to doing big things. And San Diego needed something like this. Coach, San Diego needed this.
They really did. Just the fact that we need to put our city on the map, you know what I mean, and let them know that we do have basketball down here in San Diego. Yeah. It is really good. We just don't surf or skate or anything else.
But they do surf and skate.
All day. You know what I'm saying? But it's good to see us get out there and do something positive in the community. You know what I mean? Yeah. So me being a referee and being around San Diego since 98 and seeing all these kids grow up and everybody goes to college and leave and stuff, we needed to do something a little bit different. And it's like Coach Jeff said and Coach Jake, we're trying to keep everybody at home.
Yeah, and I landed there when I was 18. Oh, yeah. And that's a great place to be when you're 18, 19 years old.
You got options. You got options.
21, 22.
Don't let them go to TJ.
Right, that's it. Say this side of home. At least have $50.
Yeah, well, I think that's great stuff. Now, let me ask you this. I didn't know this until, I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks ago. Coach Metcalf's actually a pastor, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a pastor in ministry, and he's the executive director of Urban Life, and they are located in the inner city of East San Diego, Southeast San Diego. So many of our young men, go to his church. He has young people in high school out in the community trying to minister other young people. So, that's his day job. This is not a paying job for neither coach, myself, Coach Gary, or Coach Metcalf. It's about giving back and helping and trying to make a change and help some young men at the end of the day.
Yeah, and that's really one of the other reasons, Scott, that I'm really so supportive of this program, Diego Hills Prep, because like our program at Los Angeles College Prep Academy, we're a nonprofit and we're all unpaid too, and no one in our staff, is getting a salary. Instead, we're all doing this because we want to help people, young people do well, and basketball is a great vehicle to do that for certain people. And so I really respect what Coach Metcalf has done here in creating this program, and it's exciting. Hey, Jeff, let me ask you this. Why did you get into coaching? I mean, I know why Coach Metcalf is doing this. It's for him, it's sort of a ministry, I suppose. Basketball ministry, is just as valid as any other kind of ministry. And let's talk about your motives for getting into coaching. Coach Harris?
I got into coaching I started in 1993. Unfortunately, my older brother was murdered in San Diego in 1993. Shot 5 times in his head and threw his body over a bridge in San Diego. But my brother was living that inner city game banging life. A year later, my younger brother, who was 16 from Ohio, was visiting, got his chest blown out, mistaken identity. So me personally, I was still overseas in Portugal playing basketball. Basketball no longer became an issue. Like every inner city kid, I wanted to get to the league. But it didn't happen. So started a nonprofit called the San Diego Cougars, which is an AAU club program out of Southeast San Diego.
Okay.
And I just started it to keep those young men off the streets and give them another avenue, because there's many talented young people in Southeast San Diego but don't get the shot because they feel that, hey, I had a bad grade, or I'm not going to Duke, or I'm not going to North Carolina, and they give up. When realistically, there's other great schools out there. There's a school for everybody. So our program grew and grew to kids from all over the county playing for us. So then I coached high school at Morris High School. And as a head coach, I was there for 8 years. Did well there. But again, at the end of the year, it was about how many of my kids graduated and moved on. So me personally, it's a personal thing for me, is because to give back, the more I can try to save them, to give back, because I went through the same thing. I grew up in Ohio. I grew up in the projects. I grew up being adopted, special ed, you name it, I had it, but I was able to still survive and graduate high school and college. So if I can make it, then the kids that I help can try to make it. There's no excuse they can make to me now, like, yeah, Coach Jeff, you don't understand, because yes, I do. My brother was notorious. My brother did that, but I was able to move on and do greater things. So I just try to give back. I've been blessed to do what I do, and, I help Marlon Wells at Bishop's with the girls program, who's the number 12 ranked team in the country right now. It's just a great thing to do. So at the end of the day, like I tell my grandmother, I'm just trying to get to heaven, I guess.
There you go. That's a great goal to have. And one of the things you said about, you mentioned about people making excuses. You've seen it all and you've done it all, and whether you were adopted, special ed, and all that, and that you've overcome that. I think it's, one of the mantras, Scott, that I always talk about is we have to be stronger than our excuses.
Yep.
And I think that, Coach Harris is a good example of that. He's going to be, he's demonstrated and using his own life as a background, backdrop for the student athletes that he's working with. You can be stronger than your excuses. Excuses, anyone can have them, and we can all use them. But at the end of the day, they don't get us very far, and we need to overcome them, and so that's kind of the mantra that I always speak to, right, Scott? Is we've got to be stronger than our excuses. So
I use it too. Yeah, I took it from you.
Well, it's a good rule to live by. It's a really good rule to live by. So
power move.
It's a power move, exactly right. So let me. We have a call. Caller, you're on the air. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Who is this? Caller, go ahead.
Hello? Oh, hi.
Hi.
How are you doing? Do you have a question for us?
Yes, actually, I was wondering why is it that Scott is so in love with man parts that he would want to massage their balls and the buttocks.
We have a stalker. we have a stalker. We have a stalker. You see, I've told you guys.
Y'all big time around
You
here.
ain't lying, man.
LA.
You get on that program, huh?
Who stays in on a Friday night and calls it prank calls? They must have a heck of a social life, you know.
Hey.
When I have a Friday night off, which I rarely do, I'm going out and enjoying Los Angeles.
There you go.
You know, Scott, you go out a lot and enjoy Los Angeles.
I sure do.
You're out at clubs. You go see a lot of bands.
Yep.
You're a professional storyteller. You're in a lot of venues.
Yep.
And you're also working on your book, which is based upon your blog.
Yep, my long-distance Greyhound rides. Longride.com.
Longride.com with 4 O's. Longride.com with 4 O's. And you know, his blog is very popular. Scott has taken 7 cross-country Greyhound trips.
Yep.
And he's considered the preeminent authority in the world on Greyhound travel.
There's nothing wrong with Greyhound. Hey, it's all good.
Oh, it's fun. You know, I take other routes, but I just, I got caught up I did a Greyhound ride and I enjoyed it so much, met so many interesting people on there that I started taking them more often and capturing their stories. Like I travel with the tablet and record them while we're riding and see people from all over the country, from different places where you'd never ordinarily go. Right. And sometimes you can even step off for a little bit and, you know, explore and then race back to the bus.
Yeah.
There's little towns in Texas, you know, like the old oil towns and stuff like that, where you don't really want to go too far.
Right, don't leave, man.
You know, you go too far, you stray too far from that Greyhound station, you could have trouble depending on what city you're in. You know, so we probably, Coach Harris and I have probably experienced being at a Greyhound station once or twice in our lives, and.
Definitely.
And you know, unfortunately, there's a lot that go on at those Greyhound stations. So you got to kind of be vigilant. But listen, hey, Andy is in the sound booth tonight. Andy, do me a favor. We need to screen these calls. If we have a call that comes in, ask them if they have a call related to our guests. So right now we have the Diego Hills staff on. And if you want to call in and ask them a question, our phone number is 1-800-893-9562. We need to not call in and bother Scott or ask inappropriate questions.
It's pretty funny, though.
It's nice to get calls.
Scott's the man.
Yeah, but, you know, we want our callers to call in and focus on our guests that we have because these are our special guests. They're in studio tonight and
power moves only,
and that's a power move only. That's right. So our phone number is 1-800-893-9562. Andy, screen the calls a little bit, please, if you can, as they're coming in. And we've got a call right now. Caller, you're on the air.
It's from San Diego.
It's from San Diego. There you go.
You know, they say in Hollywood, you're nobody till you have a stalker.
Right.
Yeah. You know,
I don't want to be anybody. A stalker.
Who's the best player you've seen in your 20 years in San Diego?
Oh, wow, man. That's it's been great players. I'm
Walton?
I'm going to definitely say, Walton, but I'm going to say my nephew, Malcolm Thomas. There's been many. There's been so many that plays hard that sometimes don't get the chance, but my nephew Malcolm played at SDSU. You know, he's with the Spurs, and his work ethics is unbelievable. He never gave up. He never quit. He kept working. And there's so many kids. There's so many young men and young women like that in San Diego.
Yeah.
San Diego is the bread for basketball. It's just sometimes it's not what you know, it's about who you know.
There's no question. You know, I saw Malcolm Thomas play. Did he go to Pepperdine first out of high school?
He went to Pepperdine out of Crawford High School.
And that was a big mistake, him going to Pepperdine, I think, a huge mistake. And he was able to rectify that. He went to San Diego City College for a year.
With Mitch, Coach Mitch.
And he did a great job there. They went to the Final Eight. I saw them play. and then he went to San Diego State. He had a great career. I'm a big San Diego State supporter. Probably the best player in the history of San Diego State played for me, Randy Holcomb. I sent him there after he played for me at LA City College. Coach Fisher, Coach Dutcher are really good friends of mine from back when they were at Michigan. And Randy put them on the map. They were struggling. They had some losing records. He comes in his first year, NIT bound. Second year, they went to the NCAA. Randy was first team, All Mountain West. He was drafted by the Spurs, speaking of Spurs, in the second round. And he had a great pro career for over 10 years, mainly overseas. But Randy kind of put them on the map. When I see Dutch or Fish today, which I see him every year, I always remind him, I say, you guys would be unemployed right now if it wasn't for me and Randy
That's
Holcomb.
right.
You would have never got to Kawhi Leonard. You would have never got to Malcolm Thomas because y'all be unemployed. Y'all be back in Michigan with your snowblower cleaning out a driveway, in the wintertime.
Right.
So, and Randy kind of put them on the map and got them over the hump, and then they were able to take off from there. And last year, Randy was inducted into the San Diego State Hall of Fame.
Right.
And deservedly so. Coach Fisher is a great coach. He's done a great job there. He got to coach Malcolm with your nephew.
Right.
Malcolm Thomas. And I saw Malcolm play. He was in the D League when I spent a little time helping out in the D League a couple of years, maybe about 3 years ago. And I think it was about 3 years ago he was in the D League. And I saw then an NBA player. And I remember talking to the director of player personnel from the Knicks, and I saw him at the game, and he and I go back many years. His name is Mark Workentine, and I told Mark, I said, this Malcolm Thomas, he's really good. He plays big, long arms, rebounds, he blocks shots, he rebounds out of his area, and what a special player. And I'm so happy to have you tell me that he's doing well right now, and that he's with the Spurs.
Right. He's a great young man. He's a great father. He's part of, last year we did an event, Increase the Peace, Stop the Violence at Jackie Robinson YMCA every year. And he was a guest coach along with Shabazz Muhammad. He stands up. He's part of the Athletes and Coaches Against Bullying out of San Diego. So you talk about players. His work ethic is great, but just what he does off the court. He's a great young man. He's nice. He's always giving kids autographs. My sons love him. He's a role model. So I'm proud of the young man he is off the court. And I'm very proud of his work ethics, how he got to the league, because it wasn't easy for him.
No. And that's why I was telling that story is JC, Pepperdine, bad choice. He could rectify it. He went to junior college and, San Diego State, great choice. And then, bounced around D-League. And, I saw him in the D-League, and he clearly was hungry and had a great work ethic and was earning his way there. Hey, let's take this call. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hello. My name is Abdi from San Diego. I just had a question for Coach Scott.
Okay, Agdi, great to have you call in. You have a question for Scott Schultz or for one of the Diego Hills coaches?
And any coach in general.
Okay.
What's your question?
Okay. My question is, what advice or, what do you think about a young man who his whole life, he loved basketball and he was doing good. He always worked hard, played hard. His freshman, and it came to the end of his freshman year, some tragic happened in his family, so he kind of had to give up basketball and actually left the country, came back his last 2 years of high school, was way behind school, worked hard still, got his work done, but couldn't play for the team. He graduated, still trying to pursue his dreams, still hasn't even played for a team yet, but he's working hard every day in the gym, taking care of his family. And, what advice would you give to that person so, he continue working hard, try to play for a team? What advice would you give to a kid like that?
That's quite a question there. Which one of you guys wants to tackle that one? Coach Harris, you want to take that?
Yeah, first, that's a good point, you made, is about family. Some people get their priorities mixed up. I tell every one of my players, you have 4 priorities. First priority is God. Second priority is your family. Third is education. Fourth is basketball, whatever sport you want to pursue. So sometimes you have to make them sacrifices for your family. My advice to you is never quit. Always strive to be the best, be the first one in the gym, be the last one to leave. Put yourself at a goal and set that goal and try to make it. But if you don't get to the top in basketball, you will get to the top in being a young man for your family. So, it's a two-way street. It's like, I respect you for doing what you have to do for your family, because sometimes these athletes, us athletes, and I was one of them back in the day, forget what our priorities were, forget our families. And them the ones that got us through the tough times on and off the court. So just keep working, keep your head up, don't stop, find the right team to play for next year. Get in the weight room, but always keep your family first.
That's some great advice, Coach.
Yeah, that is great advice. Agdi, are you in San Diego? Is that where you're located?
I was in San Diego. I actually left a little bit before the Dago Hills program for the prep school started. I was going to Crawford. I know Coach Jake. He asked me to play for him, but still I could not play for him. Family reasons. That's why I'm moving here right now. And I tried my best my last year to play for Coach Jake, but just school, family, we had too much. Played a little bit preseason, talked to the coach a lot, try to get in some time with the team, but just stuff could never work out for me. And I still worked hard, and Coach Jake knows how hard I worked, or he even congratulated me when I graduated, because I went all the way back to Africa, had to take care of some family stuff, came back again, had like 23 credits, needed 44 credits, a lot of classes. I was doing work, I was doing night school, and was trying to get in the gym at the same time with the passion and time to play basketball. And he asked me to play for him like 2 weeks before everything started, and I told him I could not play. I had other things going on for me. So then now, I'm still working, I might even plan to come back to San Diego, maybe play for when the prep school starts next year or something. That's what I was asking, like the program, I know it's very good. I know Coach Jay works hard, and if any coaches with him that's working, I know they must be hard-working men too, because I know the kind of man Coach Jake is. So that's why I called, just to ask one of the coaches what they think, And I might even actually come back next year to play. So that's why I was just kind of get a little bit of feedback on what the coaches thought.
Nice. Well, I think everyone here is touched by your dedication, and obviously Coach Harris gave you some great advice. I hope you take that to heart and use it to your benefit. And we really appreciate you listening, and we really appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it, coaches.
Okay. Thank you for the call.
Right, man.
So we've got another call. Here. Let me bump it up, Scott. No more stalking calls tonight, please. Okay, we've got a call here. Caller, you're on the air. Caller, you're on the air.
Hello?
Caller, you're on the air.
Hey guys, what's up, guys? How you guys doing? It's Nate Williams.
Nate Williams, Nate the Great.
Yes, sir. Is this Coach Miller?
It is Coach Miller. Thank you for calling in to Time Out with Coach Miller. We're excited to have you on the air, and we think that it's been a great show so far. What do you have for us? Do you have a question?
Yes. I just wanted to ask you guys, what's the difference between the NJCAA and the JUCO basketball out there in California? What do you think is personally? What do you personally think is the biggest difference?
Wow, that's an interesting question.
It's a great question.
Yeah, it's a great question, and hey, you're going to get some applause for that question because that's a great question. Yeah, a little bit. Let's feel that a little bit more applause. Yeah,
right. Right up the top of my head, Coach. Right up the top of my head.
Okay, nice. Well, I'm glad that you asked that question. That's a tough question, though. Coach Harris, his nephew Malcolm Thomas played here in California junior college. We just talked about him a few minutes ago on the show, and I think that what I said was he made a big mistake going to Pepperdine, and he was able to rectify that mistake by going to San Diego City College and then ultimately getting into San Diego State and having a great career there. Now he's with the Spurs. So California community colleges, there's over 100 of them in the state, and it's their own. We have our own system, so to speak. We don't play in the national system, but I don't know that you need to with 100 community colleges in the state. I mean, we had earlier on the show tonight Mount San Jacinto College head coach and athletic director and dean. And, they just knocked off Irvine Valley, who was ranked number 1. They have a player who signed early with Oregon, who's wasn't Oregon a top 20 team this year, Scott?
I don't know about this year.
Yeah, they're ranked 14th.
Oh, they're ranked 14th. Wow.
Yeah, they're always, up there. A real brutal place to visit.
Yeah.
Duck Pond.
Yeah.
They got tough crowds.
Yeah, really tough crowds. Scott was, after he left me at LA City College, he went to UCLA, transferred to UCLA, and he was the
sports editor there.
He was the sports editor of the Daily Bruin, which is probably the most prestigious of any college newspaper in the country.
And I'm a junior college product.
And Scott's a product of the California junior college system, as I am.
Right.
I started out in junior college here. So I think it's a really fine system. I know that Coach Harris would agree with me. It provided opportunity to Malcolm Thomas.
California dominated the NJCAA when they were a part of it. I mean, LA City won a title, national title.
And so did Compton College.
Yeah. I mean, they dominated it. I think Pasadena might have even won one right before they just said no more California.
Yeah.
And also California. And California also was integrated, which was a big issue. Because I know that when I brought back the 1949-1950 national champions to LA City, that was an integrated team. And they told me that when they were going to Kansas for the NJCAA championship, or for the tournament that they won, they weren't allowed to go into a lot of the restaurants or the hotels. So the team slept on the bus together, and they just got sandwiches and just ate on the bus. And that was, a big deal with with those schools.
Well, it's a great point. And Nate, the caller, Scott Schultz has done research on this because he was part of my program at Los Angeles City College, and he was instrumental in the point man on what we did was we created a 50th anniversary for the 1949-1950 national championship team, which won the NJCAA national championship in Hutchinson, Kansas. And that team was from Los Angeles City College, where I was coaching at the time. And Scott put together that 50-year reunion, and most of the players were still alive. They were obviously quite, aged. They were most of them in their 70s or right, Scott?
Yes, 70s. Yeah. They were, it was fun watching them walk around, not just, with their, kind of old language and all that, but just seeing a bunch of old guys kind of walking around the gym, and it was the same gym, like, the LA City gym. That was the same gym the whole time it was there. So, they were just like ready to run lines.
It was
ready to get into it.
It was a great event. In fact, Randy Holcomb was on our team that year, the 99-2000 team, and he was at that dinner. We had a big event for him, and it was a great event. Great memories in my life and in Scott's life. And we had Steve Lavin came in, was the UCLA head coach, was our guest speaker. And, LA City College was the original home of UCLA. UCLA started out not in Westwood, but in East Hollywood. And thus the Cubs, the LA City College Cubs, look very much like the Bruins of UCLA in terms of the mascot. And what we found out from talking to the guys on that team was that when they went to Hutchinson to play in the national championship tournament, that there was still a lot of segregation. And California always being one of the more liberal states, and this phone number the caller's from looks like a New York number, and New York being another state, probably like California, the two most liberal states.
3 of those players from that city team went to LIU afterwards.
3 of the players from the LA City College National Championship team went to Long Island University. But back then, Long Island University was like Duke or Carolina or Kentucky. I mean, it was, in fact, 2 of them. I'll let Scott tell the story. He tells it better than I. Scott is a professional storyteller, and I'm going to let him tell the story. I'm going to set him up, though. But a couple of these players from LA City College were recruited by the University of Kentucky and Adolph Rupp.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna let Scott tell that story. It's a great story. Go ahead.
So there were 3 players that went from LA City to Long Island University. It was Al Rojas and Hal Uplinger, who basically created CBS Sports and NFL broadcasts later on, and Dick Powell, I believe, was the third one, or William Powell was the third one. He was African American, and they were the stars of the team. And so Adolph Rupp walks into the locker room for City after they won the championship, and he walks up to Hal and Al, the 2 white guys, and he says,
Al Rojas and Hal Uplinger.
Yes. And he goes, "Sons, I'm going to give you 2 the opportunity of a lifetime to play basketball for the University of Kentucky." And without even looking up, Al Rojas, who is the surly one of the 2, he goes, "You couldn't drag my ass to Kentucky."
Right.
And then they all went to Claire B's program at LIU, Long Island University.
And Claire B, one of the great names.
And they went pro. All 3 of them.
All 3 of them went pro. Claire B, you talk about great names of coaching: Bobby Knight, Claire B, Adolph Rupp,
John Wooden,
Mike Krzyzewski. Mike Miller, wow.
Okay.
I don't know, but I thank you for that.
That's the shirt.
Yeah, it's the shirt. But, Claire B is one of the great names in coaching, and, one of the great geniuses that coached basketball.
Yeah.
And I've actually been at LIU, and I've seen the plaque there. LIU is sort of like this little tiny campus in New York City, a little tiny college, and now it's not a big deal. Now it's a low Division I college. They're in the NEC conference, I think, Northeast Conference. But at the time they were not. At the time they were big time. And so, but the little tiny gym, and they had the plaque there, Scott, I saw with the guys' names on it from LA City College.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And I think, moreover, the story is even bigger than that, because weren't they involved with the very famous?
No, they were actually not on the team when the scandal went down.
Oh, they weren't?
Yeah, they had already graduated.
Okay. But the very, very famous point shaving scandal at LIU that came right around that time.
Yeah.
And so, but back to the caller's question, is that California, from what we were told by these men, and now most of these men now have passed. Hal Umplinger's passed. Yeah. Joe Orsinski's passed. Yeah. I mean, guys that were at the event and members of that 50th team. They told us that when they came back to California after that, they told the stories about the segregation there and how the players were not allowed to do certain things. And I think it was shortly after that the California governing body voted to separate and not go to Hutchinson anymore, not go to the NJCAA anymore, and form their own organization. And they felt like, well, we can do that because we have enough teams. We still have a meaningful championship, and that's true. You have 100 schools. You have enough teams to. Most of the years when I was coaching in junior college at LA City College, it was a 64-team tournament, just like the NCAA tournament. I mean, it was a great tournament. You'd win 6 games to win the state championship. And so, I don't know enough about today. And of course, we're not saying today that there's segregation in Kansas. We're not saying today that the NJCAA, there's something wrong with them or it. We're not saying that at all. We're giving you the history of why California broke off. That's what we're giving you.
Yeah.
And I think that, after that history happened, California felt like, well, we don't need that. We have our own. And so that's kind of where we are today.
And there's a few other subtle differences. Like California, you don't need a high school diploma.
Right.
Can't you continue getting your junior college
correct
associates and continue playing?
Correct.
So,
you don't need a high school diploma to play in California. You do in the NJCAA. The eligibility rules are different between the two. California does not have scholarships for junior college. They do have financial aid. They do have work study opportunities. They do have other things, but they do not have scholarships. But the flip side of that is it's a lot cheaper to go to school in California than in any other state.
And plus, why would you want to live anywhere besides California
Right.
when you're 18 to 20?
Yeah.
Right, San Diego again.
San Diego in particular, right?
Came of age.
There you go.
Yeah, San Diego in particular. So, I think there are some differences, and of course, probably the higher end, the better 5 or 10 teams in the NJCAA are certainly better than the teams in California. But once you get past those 5 or 10, once you get past the Indian Hills, the Northwest Floridas, the Chipolas, the College of Southern Idaho, once you get past those 5 or 10, then, California is pretty darn good, in terms of community college, junior college basketball.
Yeah.
So, caller, I hope we answered your question. I know we took a little time to try to delve into that a little bit. I mean,
Gave you some nice history.
we gave you more history.
Definitely.
We probably gave you more history than you wanted to.
Probably gave more history than anybody has ever
Yeah.
given in the history of college.
You guys gave me exactly what I needed.
Okay, good.
Exactly what I needed.
Good. Well,
That's exactly what I needed to hear.
Well, we really appreciate you listening to the show and calling in, and it's always great to have callers. We had one from Detroit earlier. I mean,
Right.
and we're getting some laughs because the guys in the studio.
You guys are worldwide, Coach.
Yeah, we
got
have
some juggalos.
Right. Yeah, we have this caller from New York. Are you from New York, Nate?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. I'm actually from New York, but I play college basketball in the state of Illinois.
Okay.
Right now, I play basketball in the state of Illinois. But yes, I'm from New York City.
Okay, nice.
Where do you play at?
I play at Wabash Valley College. It's a Division I junior college. It's actually for the NJCAA.
Oh,
So,
cool.
so that's why I wanted to ask you a question. That's why I wanted to ask that specific question. And you guys did a good job of definitely telling me the similarities and the differences.
Yeah, Coach Harris. Coach Harris is from Ohio, right? Originally.
Yes, Dayton.
Okay,
Yeah.
Dayton, and Coach Harris maybe wants to shed a little light from his experience. He's been here for a while, and Malcolm Thomas played in a California junior college, but you're from the Midwest, and you've seen a lot of other junior college ball. How would you answer the question, Coach Harris?
I just think it's based on generations of talent. When I was in Dayton, I grew up in Dayton, but I actually finished high school in San Diego. So my junior and senior year in San Diego, I've seen the Vincents in Indiana, Sinclair community. I think it's just based on the athlete himself. Don't get me wrong. I think there are some JCs in California that do not compete, and they make it like high school all over again. And I think sometimes kids need to get away from that. If kids lived in that city, I don't. Yeah. I'm like I said, my nephew Malcolm went to City. Coach Mitchell City did a great job. Coach Thompson, my high school coach, is actually a coach at Mesa College. They Coach Kenny Hill. They do a good job. I just think sometimes kids need to get out of that city, especially if you lived there your whole life. Yeah. And find something different. I think some of the NJC schools, they got scholarships, they got dorms. It's more college. You got practice, you got study hall. sometimes when you're at home, you get off track because you don't have a college system. But like I said, I just think it's based on the student, athletes, and based on what the player want to get out of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, like you said, definitely. I definitely believe that it doesn't really matter where you go. It's just based on your mentality and just controlling what you can control, and everything else you have to. You can't really worry about that, So I definitely agree with that. I go to Wabash, and I heard you mention a school called Vincennes, and it's funny because there's still a top school in the NJCAA. I think they're ranked number 2 in the country.
Right.
We played them January 7th. So we have them on our schedule. I was blessed to play against another top team called Moberly College, in which I had a pretty good game. I had a double-figure scoring against them. So I definitely agree with everything you're saying.
Well, it's great that you've been able to call in, and I'll tell you what, the last undefeated team in California went down yesterday, Irvine Valley College. The coach there is Jerry Hernandez, does an excellent job. And, they went down to Mount San Jacinto last night. And, there's some good basketball out here. I think you'll be surprised, or you would be surprised if you saw it. And certainly we're not taking away from the good basketball in the Midwest. And as Coach Harris pointed out, some of these NJCA schools, they have dorms, and they have, like you said, they have it's more of a college lifestyle because you're there living at the school. And a lot of the California guys live at home and go to their local neighborhood JC. And so it is a little bit different. It can be a little bit different that way, but I think that, there's some really good programs in California and some really good teams. And, we had Mount San Jacinto on the air. That's one of them. East LA College, we've had them in studio before. That's another one. You've got, Saddleback, who is playing tomorrow, Mount San Jacinto, in the finals of the Saddleback Bill Brummel Classic.
That'll be a great match.
Yeah, it will. Irvine Valley is another great program. Like I said, they were undefeated till yesterday. Chaffey College, great coach, Jeff Klein, does a great job. They're 14-2 this year. They beat East LA in the finals of the Riverside tournament last week. Fresno City College, Coach Ed Maddock, unbelievable job. Diablo Valley College, Steve Cocamillo. Olani College, John Peterson. These are some great programs and great coaches, and I think
of course LA City had a 15-year run of dominance.
Yeah, we did.
Coach Mike Miller.
Yeah, we did.
Under the great Coach Miller himself.
Yeah, we did.
Have you heard the theme song?
I guess not. You haven't heard the theme song yet, huh?
Oh, man.
No.
It's all about winning.
Right.
Yeah, it'll be on in about 16 minutes.
Yeah, if you got to stay tuned in, and we played the theme song in its entirety at the end of the show.
Yeah, it runs down all the coach's credentials. He's been winning championships since he was like 24.
Yeah, you got to listen to the theme song. It's great. Like Scott said, when you win 500 games, you get your own theme song.
Actually, I said that off the
air. Yeah, but I won 500 college games. That doesn't even include high school. And to be honest, I don't keep track of the record for prep school. I don't even know what our record is.
Yeah.
And I don't know what our record was last year. I have people ask us all the time, and I honestly said I don't know.
Yeah, just say, we win most of them.
Yeah, we win more than we lose.
Yeah.
So
we win about all of them.
Well,
you can say
I don't know about that. We used to win all of them when I was coaching at LA City College, but I don't know.
Pretty close. All the conference championships.
Yeah, we won 14 straight. We winning. 14 straight.
Winning.
We winning, and you're drinking Shaq soda
Shaq
again.
soda. You guys have Shaq soda in Wabash?
Hey, yeah. Do you have Shaq soda in Wabash, Illinois?
Oh man, it's not pretty much. It's pretty much nothing in Wabash. So
Shaq soda.
Let me
what you're missing out on.
Let me put this on the air as one of our main unofficial sponsors.
Although his brother did play at LA City.
This is Shaq soda. And here's another picture of Shaq. And I coached his brother at LA City College, Jamal Harrison. Shaquille's only brother. And one day they pulled up with this big truck outside my office. They had 500 pairs of Shaq shoes in the truck.
I wish they'd pull up with a truck of Shaq soda.
Yeah. Scott likes the Shaq soda better than he liked the shoes. I
like the shoes too.
I gave you a pair of shoes, right?
Sure did.
Nice.
I had those things for years. Those
Nice.
things were solid.
Yeah. Shaq shoes. They didn't take off. They didn't really do well, though, did they?
No.
not at all.
I think they were made for big men.
Right.
You know?
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
He sold a lot of shoes though, because they sold them in stores that.
Kmart.
Yeah.
Cheap stores.
Oh, like
Yeah,
Marbury
it
did
was.
with the Starburys?
Yeah, it wasn't Foot Locker.
Right.
Oh, okay. It wasn't Foot Locker.
No Foot Locker.
Wow.
No Foot Locker.
Well, see, this is what I like about Coach Harrison, Coach Hulleman in here. They've got a little bit of history. They know they're a little bit younger than me, so they kind of know this stuff.
So they
I just shaved today. That's all.
they know how to get into iTunes.
Right.
Hey,
Work
if you
the tablet.
If you guys know how to work a tablet and go to iTunes, you're younger than me.
Right.
Okay? That's all I'm going to say.
There you go.
So anyway, Nate, it's great for you to call in. Thank you for calling in, and please tune in next week.
And subscribe on iTunes.
Subscribe on iTunes.
And have a great season.
Definitely. All right, thank you, sir. I definitely will. All right,
Okay.
you guys take care. Happy holidays.
All right.
You
just
too.
saying.
You too.
Have a great year.
Yeah, what a great call that was.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So what we want to do, speaking of fun, is we want to pay a bill or two and then come back and have some more fun. Hey, Andy, let's hit a double commercial here before I get in trouble. When we come back, we'll close out our show with Diego Prep in-house and talk about their schedule tomorrow and what to look for. So run a commercial and we'll be right back. This is Coach Miller from Time Out with Coach Miller. I'm here excited to tell you about Medicus Graphics Center located in Los Angeles, California. Medicus is the official printer and graphic designer of Time Out with Coach Miller. Medicus does a tremendous job for any printing need from big to small. Whether you want to print a book or a 4-color poster or business cards, go see my friends at Medicus Graphics Center in Los Angeles, California, located at 2030 Hyperion Avenue. Tell them Coach Miller sent you. Medicus will take care of you like they've taken care of me.
State champs, high school and JC. He was the first coach to do it in California history. Coach Miller, he can beat any team. Got shooters on the court and dunkers dunk everything. He got to win, so the plan is defeat. Been coaching on the court before he turned 18. From 08 going down to 93, he was the conference champs, home of the LACC. Youngest coach to beat 500 teams, 43. Everybody can't do it like he. A coach is something he was destined to be. Now we got a radio show to discuss some things, talking informative conversations. Listen to the real. Tuesday and Friday at night from 10 to 12. A live show, tune in and listen well. Special guests and take audience calls as well.
Hey, it's Coach Miller. You're listening to my show, Time Out with Coach Miller. I want to talk to you today about my favorite car dealership located in beautiful Hollywood, California. It's called Gem Motors. Gem Motors is located at 5639 West Sunset Boulevard. If you want a high-end automobile that's at a great price, whether it's a BMW, a Mercedes, a Jaguar, or a Porsche, go to my friends at Gem Motors. They have a beautiful indoor dealership located at 5639 West Sunset Boulevard, right across from Home Depot. Go see my friends at Gem Motors. Tell them Coach Miller sent you and get a special discount. The phone number is area code 323-962-9696. 323-962-9696.
16 made a dream with this basketball. Coach Miller on the court and we going hard. Pass the rock to the paint. I give it my all or be like Chris Paul. Shoot the 3-point, y'all. Look, it's time out with Coach Miller. 14 straight conference championships, we winners. It don't stop from the bottom to the ceiling, cause all I know is win and we winning. Full focus, we got a topic to discuss. High school, prep school, small colleges, yup. Another special guest today, listen up. It might get a little hectic from the stuff we discuss.
Hey, we're back. We're live. We're at Skidrow Studios. This is Time Out with Coach Miller. Scott, we are at Skidrow Studios. It is Skidrow adjacent.
Skidrow adjacent. You'll see the rats when you walk out at the end of the night. There's some big rats, power forward rats, and Skidrow adjacent.
Yeah, power forward rats making power moves only down there.
Power moves only.
They're rat moves, but they're power moves.
Power moves.
Yeah. So here we are. We've got Coach Harris and Coach Holloman in studio of Diego Hills Prep. We're excited to be here with them. They are playing in the Super Elite Showcase, which is today, tomorrow, and Sunday.
If you have any questions for either Coach Holloman, Coach Harris, or Coach Miller, call in at 1-800-893-9562. And also, if you want to find out more about Diego Hills, you can go to their website, which is hoophigh.org. That's HOOP high.org.
That's right. Well, they're in town right now. They're in L.A. playing, and that's down at Cathedral High School in downtown L.A., 1253 Bishops Road. Tell us about your schedule tomorrow. Who do you guys play and what time?
I think the post-grad plays at 12 and high school play at 2.
Okay.
I forgot who we play. 12. Oh, 12 is that great team called Future Prep.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Okay, good.
They're a very good program.
Good. So 12 o'clock, the post-grad plays Future Prep?
Yes.
And then 2 o'clock, I think, options.
The high school team plays options for youth?
Right. And I'm excited about us playing Future Prep. I mean, they beat Findlay Prep. They were ranked number 3 in the country. So we played them twice already, and I think it's time for us to compete. You know, I'm excited. I'm excited about tomorrow.
And Les being the coach, he's off of the Coach Miller, coaching tree.
Oh yeah.
Coach Leslie Bean.
Oh yes, sir.
He played for me at LA City College for 3 years. I redshirted him 1 year, and he one of my many Division I transfers. He went on to UC Santa Barbara. And proud of him. He got his degree there. And I hired him. He worked for us at LA City College. Were you there, Scott, when you were there?
Yeah, I like Coach Bean.
Yeah,
we even hung out one time at at like one of my friends' weird art show things.
You and these people, man.
I introduced him to the guitar player for Marilyn Manson.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was kind of a weird,
kind of mix
pairing.
right there.
Yeah,
right.
It's like one world of mine with the other world. It's like, the straight-laced basketball coach with the guy that was too decadent for Marilyn Manson.
Right.
Okay, so now you guys get the idea why Scott has a stalker on the show.
Right. From Detroit.
I'm trying to figure out which one it is.
Yeah, so.
Of the many people I've pissed off over the years.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, the bottom line is we hired Leslie to be on our staff at LA City College. He was there with us for 2.5 years, and then after that, he got a high school job, another one, and now he's got his own prep school, Future Prep. He's doing a great job there. As you alluded to, they beat Findlay Prep last week.
Didn't you guys play them a couple weeks back?
We did. We played them. We beat them at Future Prep by 5, and then 2 days later, they beat Findlay Prep by 2 up in Vegas. So
now you got to play Findlay Prep.
We do play Findlay in February sometime.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
It will be. We'll see. We'll have to play a lot better than we did last time when we played Findlay, and we'll have to play. You got to bring your A game. So you guys play tomorrow at 12 and 2. That's Diego Hills Prep and Diego Hills High School. The website is hoophigh.org, O-R-G, and it's a nice website. There's some good information on it, including the schedule of games. Looks like you guys have a pretty big January ahead, don't you?
Oh, yeah. On the road.
Is that to work off all the Christmas weight that
Of course.
puts on their break?
Yeah. Exactly.
So I'm looking here, and January's awfully busy now. You've got you're going to Phoenix in January for a tournament, it looks like?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And you've got a couple single games. You're back up in L.A., Coast to Coast Classic. You've got Project Uplift coming into your gym, and you guys play your home games at Cuyamaca College.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
It's a nice school.
Nice facility, isn't it?
Yeah. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
How did you end up hooked up there?
Coach Jake and knows Coach Rob, Cuyamaca coach.
Okay.
And, Coach Jake is, he got the gift to negotiate.
All right.
That's what he does well. He negotiates.
Okay.
And good little deal. So,
but one of the positive things about us practicing at the college is that the kids that can also be like on the school and say, "Hey, I want to go to college. I want to go to school. I want to do something different with my life." You know what I'm saying? And not just mess around and run the streets and stuff. So give some structure. You know?
It's important just to see the college experience.
Right, exactly.
Then it's a very easy next step to just take some classes.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. We still got to keep them kids focused, man.
Exactly.
The girls walking and stuff. So.
No question.
Practice.
Right.
One of the things that Coach Jake Metcalf is doing, I'm kind of excited about, we're going to be a part of, is the end of March 28th through 30th, at Cuyamaca College, he's going to host an event called the West Coast High School Prep Championship. You guys, that'll be a big event, won't it?
It's going to be exciting.
That's like 16 teams and,
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about it is I don't get to ref because I want to ref make some money, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no kidding. Right. You got to run out and do some flat flips on the side.
That's what I'm saying. Wife's like, go to work.
Hey, I'd like to ref. Could I ref and make some money?
Can you run the court?
Hey, I can run the court. And by the way, I just want to know, since I'm not making any money doing this, could I make money roughing? Is that something that refs get paid? You mean?
Oh, of course. Come on by. I got you set for. I don't know.
Sometimes
I heard when you're talking to Coach about San Diego refs. I don't know now. You know what I'm saying, man?
Yeah, they might gang up on it.
Right.
Well, I said in specific in junior college, and it's hard to win in San Diego in junior college. It's hard to win when you're not from San Diego in junior college. It's notorious up and down the state. People know about that. And but I noticed I didn't say anything about. I said prep school and high school. It's fine. It's fine.
Not Coach Jeff. He don't like them all.
I think some of them should donate their money to charity, man.
Okay. So Coach Harris isn't feeling it, huh?
No feel, no.
Okay, I got you.
Some guys are good. So some guys just take free money.
Hey, they're going to be roughing your game.
Right.
I know.
That's why I'm on the bench. You know what I mean?
I know.
I'm on the bench.
Yep.
You'll know if they subscribe.
Right.
Diego Hill's prep. I love it. What a great idea.
Yeah.
What a great concept to try to further the education and the dreams of so many young men, and specifically in San Diego, and focusing on that. And I love the concept that all of the players in the program are local guys. They're all from San Diego. I love that.
Yeah, it was a good idea. And it helps our kids compete because we know other prep schools are nationally. You're going to find those type of kids nationally. But like I said, it's Jake Metcalf's done a great job in putting together, and it's not easy. I mean, he has another job. He's the executive director of Urban Life, so sometimes he's getting pulled different ways because he has to do his job. He got family, got some beautiful kids and a wife, so it's tough, and that's why me and Coach Gary do what we do, and be there and support the program and support him.
Okay, well, it's a good thing that he's got that kind of loyal staff and excellent staff, by the way. I've seen them in action, Scott. The whole group of them are really good. Not just Coach Harris and Coach Holloman, but isn't Coach Smith still with you? Coach Richard Smith?
Yes.
He's still with you. And Coach Gray, is he still there? Coach?
Every now and then.
Now and then, but Coach Smith does a great job too.
Yes.
I mean, probably the main three guys besides Coach Metcalf, of course, Coach Harris, Coach Holloman, and Coach Smith.
Right.
Really a great staff, really, really excellent people, and doing it the right way. Let's give out a few websites before we go, Scott. So the Diego Hills prep program can be found at hoophigh.org.
Yes.
And that's a great place to go. We had a caller earlier tonight from San Diego. If you're in San Diego and you're listening and you want to find out more about Diego Hills Prep and get into their program, go to their website, hoophigh.org. We've talked a little bit tonight about California community colleges. We were able to talk about your nephew, Malcolm Thomas. If you want to find out more about California community colleges and the teams, how they're playing, where their standings are, you can go to cccaastats.org, and that's the California Community College Athletic Association website. So cccaastats.org, and there's some good stuff there. If you want to go and get our show at iTunes, which I don't know how to do because
he's old.
Because I'm too old. Scott, they can go to iTunes and type in
Timeout with Coach Miller.
Right. They can even find our theme song.
The theme song.
With no title. The theme song.
It's called Theme Song for Timeout with Coach Miller.
Well, I asked Little Kevin, the rapper who did the theme song.
Isn't it Lil Kev?
Lil Kev.
Yeah.
Lil Kev.
You're killing his street cred by saying his proper name.
Yeah, Lil Kev. You're right. Hey, by the way, Lil Kev is from San Diego.
Oh, okay.
He's a San Diego rapper who did this theme song.
Kevin Smith?
I don't know if his last name is Smith or not.
Did he play basketball?
I think so. His name is Little Kev, is what he tells me.
Okay.
There's only a couple of little Kevs.
We know Lil Kev.
Went to Lincoln High School, yeah.
So
we know you, Kev.
Yeah. Kev, you heard
Talk
that?
to you, Kev.
You heard that?
You've been uncovered.
Yeah, Kev, you're no longer
Maybe it's
undercover.
Kevin Hart. He's kind of little too. Yeah.
So there you
He's
go.
got that great movie coming out too. That Ride Along.
Right.
That looks funny.
But we're about to hear the theme song. But just to say this,
Yep.
Little Kev hasn't completed the third verse yet, and I asked him what the title of the theme song was, and he
Is
just
that why
said,
Chris isn't here?
right, and he said the theme song title is Timeout with Coach Miller. I said, that's the name of our show. Shouldn't the song have a different name?
Yeah.
He said, it's called Timeout with Coach Miller.
Yeah.
What was I going to do? Argue with a rapper from San Diego?
Right.
He's creative enough to write all these
I'll
words.
feel you.
He can't write one more word for a title.
I'm going to argue with a rapper from San Diego?
Hey, I feel you, Coach.
Come on.
Hey, you know.
I'm not going for that. Anyway, Andy, let's close out the show with the official theme song from Timeout with Coach Miller by Little Kev. Roll it.
16 made a dream with this basketball. Coach Miller on the court and we going hard. Pass the rock to the paint. I give it my all or be like Chris Paul. Shoot the 3-point, y'all. Look, it's time out with Coach Miller. 14 straight conference championships. We winners. It don't stop from the bottom to the ceiling. Cause all I know is win and we winning. Full focus, we got a topic to discuss. High school, prep school, small colleges, yup. Another special guest today, listen up. It might get a little hectic from the stuff we discuss. Welcome to the 500 Club. We the best, my whole team tough. Close to 100 Division 1s I built up. Dedication and hard work. Step up to the court, I'm like who ready to lose first. 14 times champs every year earned. Feet to the court, let me get in my zone. Hands grip to the ball, let me get in control. Non-stop, can't quit, that's a winner's quote. I'ma just keep doing me, hear the crowd as they cheer. 18 out of 19, coach of the year. Time out with Coach Miller, listen clear. 2 times a week, listen to me on the ear. Over 30 wins, it was for 4 straight years. First to win state my high school and college career. Over 30 wins, it was for 4 straight years. First to win state my high school and college career. It's time out with Coach Miller. 14 straight conference championships, we winners. It don't stop from the bottom to the ceiling, cause all I know is win and we winning. Full focus, we got a topic to discuss. High school, prep school, small colleges, yup. Another special guest today, listen up. It might get a little hectic from the stuff we discuss. State champs, high school and JC. He was the first coach to do it in California history. Coach Miller, he can beat any team. Got shooters on the court and dunkers dunk everything. He got to win, so the plan is defeat. Been coaching on the court before he turned 18. From 08, going down to 93, he was the conference champs, home of the LACC. Youngest coach to beat 500 teams, 43. Everybody can't do it like he. A coach is something he was destined to be. Now we got a radio show to discuss some things, talking informative conversations. Listen to the real. Tuesday and Friday at night from 10 to 12. A live show, tune in and listen well. Special guests and take audience calls as well.